Open-world games themed around crime are not a new concept, but rarely do games with this in mind take the time to delve into the nitty-gritty of actual police work, often devolving from one tired shootout to the next. Team Bondi's LA Noire breaks this trend and has players truly play the role of a detective, examining clues, questioning suspects, and making arrests. It's a methodical game which rewards thorough police work with an experience unlike any other, and breaks new ground with its face capture technology. LA Noire takes a lot of risks and stumbles a bit on the execution, but ends up delivering an engrossing adventure through 1940s Los Angeles.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence.
You take on the role of Cole Phelps, a World War II veteran and hero who has recently joined the Los Angeles police force. Phelps is an ambitious, no-nonsense cop hoping to prove himself and rise through the ranks in an effort to clean up the city. He starts off as an average beat cop, but quickly moves to the various desks in the department. He starts off in traffic, but it doesn't take long until the famous Black Dahlia murders bump Phelps up to homicide. In the later parts of the game, Phelps investigates a narcotics ring in Vice and a real estate scheme in arson. Each new desk comes with a new partner who has a unique personality and feelings about Cole, not all of which are positive. Throughout the various cases, you'll be treated to frequent flashbacks of Cole's dark military background, and there are newspapers that can be collected that show events happening independent of Cole's investigations. All of this ties together in a final act that will surprise, entertain, and satisfy.
He was a better man than you'll ever know. You say one more word about him and I will blow your fucking head off!
If you go into LA Noire expecting constant action or the ability to run around indiscriminately killing anyone you see, you'll be sorely disappointed. You are a cop after all, and you are expected to behave as such. Any collateral damage caused by the end of a case will impact your final ranking, and you cannot pull your gun out unless the game dictates you can do so. That's not to say you won't get into your fair share of gunfights and chases, both on foot and in vehicles, but that is not the main focus of LA Noire. The majority of what you'll be doing is investigating crime scenes, collecting clues, and interrogating persons of interest. There will be cases where you don't fire a single bullet, instead using evidence to bring down a suspect. Most cases have the same basic pattern. To start, you and your partner will be sent to the scene of a crime. Once there, you'll search the area for clues using the vibration of the controller as a guide, and manipulate what you find with the left analog stick. Using what you collect, you'll then head to various locations and interrogate people for information, possibly resulting in a chase or two. Once you've got enough evidence, you'll have to charge a suspect you've talked to with the crime. It might seem repetitive, and it can be to a degree, but intrigue and the quality of the interrogations do a lot to distract from this. It never feels like you're doing busy work or wasting time, and you can opt for your partner to drive you around, acting as the game's fast travel system if you don't feel like driving the large world map. There's always something available to move you forward, since cases progress in a mostly linear fashion. If you want to take a break from casework, you can drive around the massive recreation of 1940s Los Angeles and look for collectibles, discover landmarks, or respond to one of 40 street crimes that act as quick action set pieces independent of the main story, which should take most players upwards of 20 hours. When you do have to engage in combat or a chase sequence, the controls are very simple. When your weapon is drawn, LA Noire uses a cover system similar to Grand Theft Auto, as well as a very generous auto-aim. During hand-to-hand conflicts, the game uses a very simple punch, block, and parry system. When chasing a suspect on foot, all you need to do is hold down the run button and guide Cole, as he'll clear any obstacles by himself. Finally, driving is somewhat arcadey, and chases devolve into ramming an opposing vehicle while your partner attempts to shoot out the tires. All the controls during action sequences are easy to grasp and don't provide much challenge, though if they do give you any trouble, the game gives you the option to skip action set pieces completely after failing them a few times without any repercussion. That's because, as previously stated, the action set pieces are not the focus of LA Noire, though that's not to say that they aren't exciting. Most of what you'll be doing is the aforementioned clue finding and suspect interrogation, and it's these interrogations that are the real star of the game. The mechanics for these sequences are just as simple as the others, merely asking you to choose one of 3 possibilities after a suspect has answered your question. Truth if you believe a suspect, doubt if you think they have something to hide, or lie if you think a suspect is outright lying to you and you have the evidence to back up your accusation. What makes this process so in-depth is the faces. Using a new technology called motion scan, every single blink, smirk, and wrinkle of an actor's performance is captured. You'll have to really watch people as they talk to you and read them to determine how honest they're actually being. It's truly remarkable and is captivating until the very end, although this system isn't without its faults. There will be times where you'll be positive someone is lying, only to find out that they aren't, and you'll present evidence that should work but doesn't. These minor annoyances aside, the conversations and the detail in characters' faces are truly impressive, and LA Noire wouldn't be anywhere near the game it is without them.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
One final gameplay device is intuition points, earned from ranking up, which happens from practically everything you do. These points can be spent to mark clues at a crime scene, eliminate a wrong choice during an interrogation, or see what other players have chosen as their answer. It's a small addition and helps those who are lost for what to do next. It's impossible to discuss LA Noire's presentation without once again bringing up the quality of the facial animation. It's truly that good, and unlike anything seen before in games. Even the smallest detail is captured and helps all the characters you interact with feel alive. The models from the neck down don't look quite as impressive, but never distract from the awe-inspiring faces. Hopefully, more developers will adapt this technology for their games in the future.
Go down there now and rat you out, Fleetwood. Tell whoever it is that you rolled over and gave them up.
No. Look, I've been cooperative, okay? Now you gotta help me some.
The rest of the package is less impressive visually. The game looks good overall, with detailed objects and environments, but scenery drawing in is far too common, and texture popping occurs more than it should. Even with those issues, there's no denying that LA Noire nails the look and feel of the 1940s. Everything from the cars to the clothing is authentic and sells the atmosphere perfectly. There are occasional frame rate drops, but it never gets in the way of the proceedings. In terms of sound design, the actors give spectacular performances, never sounding unbelievable or forced, and the time period soundtrack helps add to the atmosphere. LA Noire is a refreshing take on the crime genre and games in general. There's really nothing quite like it. Some may be turned off by how unconventional it is, and others may miss the traditional open-world freedom of other games. But anyone who's interested in an engrossing detective story, or anyone looking for something different, should give LA Noire a look.
Farewell, cruel world!